Oh, well, good evening, my ladies, gentlemen, both Sniders, in-betweens, and outsiders. Welcome back to a Monday Night Tea Time with your host, the Bard. Um, oh, my tea is starting to get a little chilly. Obviously, I have not been doing these as frequently because, well, after a year, my body has pretty much reached a new homeostasis, and after another year, none of the changes are interesting enough to warrant doing a whole video, so I haven't. But I did want to just drop in and do an update for two reasons, and we are scripted, so hopefully this will be nice and fast tonight. I know I say that every time. But, first off, because it's the new year! Happy 2023, everybody! But also, secondly, a little less excitably, there have been, for those of you who don't know, rolling shortages of testosterone for a while now. I've been hearing about them, and I was lucky to just keep dodging them. So I didn't think about it when my pharmacist on September 17th handed me my vial and said, "You're lucky, that's the last one." I thought, oh, yeah, that's the last one of the scheduled shipment, and then there'll be another scheduled shipment that will replace it. So when I went in on December, well, they didn't have it, and I realized, oh, no, it was one of the last ones in the city. So it turns out that Taro, the company from which I've been getting testosterone in Canada, they reported their shortage in October. So that's been going on for a while. They've been pushing back their replenishment deadlines, so I wasn't sure when there would even be testosterone available again. So that was obviously pretty stressful. What it amounted to was that I spent all of December, for the 4 weeks that I should have had shots, off of testosterone. And since that is a notable change, I did want to do a video on things that I noticed being off testosterone, just in case that's beneficial to anyone, or a curiosity. So, right off the bat, it was extremely stressful, and I had a lot of stress responses. So it's important to note that maybe you should take some of what I say with a grain of salt, because a lot of it may have been... What do I say here? Imagined, the correlation may have been imagined, or the side effect may have been overblown, because, well, I was extremely stressed. I did not know when it was going to be available again. So again, possibly imagined. At first, it was like I could feel my uterus rebooting. I was experiencing a lot of lower abdominal cramps for the first 2 weeks, usually when I was trying to go to bed at night, so that was really inconvenient. Luckily, I didn't restart menses because it went away really quickly when I first started tea. It took only a month and a half, so I wasn't sure how long, oh, is it going to be as rapid, coming back? Especially considering I did not know when I'd be getting my next dosage, so highly stressful, a lot to worry about, so it could have been a stress-based cramp, but it was very, lower abdominally centered. Whether it was associated with stress or an actual side effect, it still happened and it was still uncomfortable, so, to be noted. I did have some minor jolts of pain in through my chest, through the third and fourth weeks, just randomly, and it felt to me a little like the breast tissue is trying to redensify itself. I don't know how possible that is that swiftly, especially because that was a change I definitely experienced, or at least noticed a lot later, was the loss of density. And then what I absolutely know for certain was a side effect of being off of testosterone is a little grosser. It is one of the TMI things, so I'm going to set a timer on my phone while I discuss that. So if you want to skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid it, starting now. Okay, so one of the side effects when you start testosterone is apparently the loss of vaginal lubrication, which I wish they would specify doesn't include, not necessarily, the lubrication brought on by arousal, which continued unchanged, but I had forgotten there's this natural discharge that keeps that whole complex from getting too dry, but it leaves this white chalky streak in your underwear, and I had gotten so used to ignoring that before starting tea that when testosterone got rid of it, I didn't even notice. Ahem. You're back after 30 seconds. Anyway, when it came back, I noticed. You won't know what I'm talking about. You probably don't want to. And yes. So, what it amounts to was, luckily enough, there was another company. There were 3, and all of them are on shortages. But there was another company in the area that was able to remedy their shortage recently. And they make a slightly different, but ultimately freely interchangeable injection of tea. So, they cleared up their shortage right before Christmas. I'll pull this up, it's a little better. Right before Christmas, and I was able to pick up a vial of deletestrel, which, rather than taro, is an enanthate and not a cypionate. It's barely a difference. But I was able to pick that up. It was only about $20 more because it's a name brand, last Wednesday. And I just wanted to keep doing my Monday night shots, so I waited till today. But I was actually able to take a shot today, so that's good. So whereas taro is a 100 milligram per milliliter vial, and I take 1 milliliter of that, the deletestrel is 200 milligrams per milliliter, so I'm only taking half a milliliter of that, which definitely makes it easier to do the injection myself. My husband was helping me before, because filling up an entire 1 milliliter syringe and then holding your leg and holding the syringe, it doesn't work. Other notable differences include testosterone is the testosterone is suspended in cottonseed oil, and in deletestrel, the testosterone is suspended in sesame oil. So the color is different, the viscosity is different. It also seems that deletestrel reports more shortages. I was reading a lot of different shortage reports. They report more shortages, but they tend to more frequently remedy them and resolve them in a much quicker fashion. We still don't know when taro will be back. They're working on it. I know they're working on it. Good job. Anyway, from having just done my shot, my left leg today, I can tell that, like I said, the viscosity is different. Also important to keep in mind in case you're allergic to sesame. Probably not a good idea. The viscosity is different. The viscosity of sesame oil over cottonseed oil is much, much higher. So the draw-up time, it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to require patience. I've also read that because it is a thicker solution, some people reported more pain at the injection site, like being able to feel it under the skin, basically. I didn't experience that. Sorry, my cat is right there. I didn't experience that, but I also, because I'd read about it, made sure to inject way slower than I normally do, to, an effort to avoid that. So I think if you do it really slowly, you should be fine. Like, really slowly. Like, I think it took me 30 whole seconds, and a lot of, steady breathing. But, whatever works. So, we will move on to the music. Hello, Mimi, do you want to come up? No, she just wants to hang out at my feet like a creep. First we do Green by Cavetown, and then we do Lunacy by me. Here we go. Well, I'm sorry. Nope, that's the wrong one. My cat's distracting me. Green by Cavetown. This is erosion. Grind up rocks with your molars. A big fish swims past your rod. You can't catch it, it's far too fast. Deep hook marks in rubber lips. Stop it! I see your eyes in the flowers. I'll pick a bunch for your room, green and blue to match your pictures. You look so good in green, and I hope you're well. You look so good with him, and I'm proud of you still. I miss your perfect teeth. I was too blunt. I hope you feel happy. That's all I want. I'm sorry, my cat tried to climb up her pillow den, successfully knocked it down as she was climbing up, and then decided to attack the couch because the pillow den's on the couch, and the pillow den fell down because she walked on it, so clearly it's the couch's fault. So I was not hitting my cat, by the way. She was a whole other seat over, and I was just trying to get her to Anyway, sassy little thing. Lunacy. That's the song, not just the situation. Well, I'm sorry, I am not the moon, and this isn't just a phase. You said that 11 years ago, and you think it's still today. Well, you were screaming at me then, but now I see it on your face, and I'm sorry. I am not the moon, and this isn't just a phase, and I'm so sorry. I can't be someone that you wanted. I'm so sorry that I've gotta be me. And it's fucked up that I need to say that. Are you gonna sneak in?
Yes, I'm sneaking in.
Thank you, dear.
I love you.
That's my husband. I love you too. Go pay attention to the cat so she stops bothering me. She immediately just ran into the bedroom and went, I'm so offended. My cat is the most easily offended thing. Anyway, now on to the personal bits. The socially personal bits, not the personal bits where I asked you to skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid the TMI. Different kind of personal. Quick bit of personal updates. Go play with your father. No. No, Papa. No, Papa. No, Papa. She's in such a mood. Quick bit of personal updates. They're personal updates, but might also doubly help for any other trans folks that are looking to move up to Canada. I, of course, applied for my permanent residency via the spousal route because my husband is Canadian. So, of course, I don't know how the other routes work. But I do know that, especially for this one, they rolled out web forms, and hopefully they're rolling out web forms for other versions, because that made it so much easier. So if while applying, no matter which route you're doing, you have the option of doing the web forms, I would suggest that over the mail-in forms if you can. The expected approval time was 18 months, but I think that was for the mail-in because mine got approved in 4.5. Now, granted, I was extremely responsive because I am crazy and OCD. I was very quick to respond to any requests. They, after you send in your information, they tell you when they need blood work and biometrics and things, and then you have a 30-day time limit to turn those back into them. I was lucky enough that I was able to get those done very early on, in one of them even within 2 days of receiving the email to get that done. So it was predominantly possible. It was possible that it was predominantly situational. There we go. But just to bear in mind, I will say that also I made sure to add a lot of information. Anything they asked for, I gave them like 5 times as much information as I think they wanted. But I also tried to make it as concise as I could, which I know you can't believe as I'm talking right now. So I made sure to include that I am trans. I made sure to mention how long I'd been on T, and I even included a copy of my name and gender change decree, just to make background checks a little smoother, and also to explain away like the baby faceness that I had in older pictures of me and my husband from before I started T. They do want, for the spousal route, a lot of pictures, but neither of us are picture takers, so I gave as many as I could. I linked to my Instagram, I don't know, and I linked actually to some of these videos that my husband's been in with me. So I would suggest, if you have any videos of you and your partner screen capping, as well as adding a link, just in case they don't want to click the link, they do still have the screen cap of a moment with the two of you together. So just don't forget that that is a viable option. If you don't have pictures, screen cap from video, just clarify that it is a screen cap from a video. Basically, just follow the directions. I am extremely anal about following directions, so I know I gave them what they needed and more. So I would just suggest do exactly what you're asked, and a little bit more. I don't think you have to go as overkill as I did, but do what you were supposed to do, and then a little something else. And just be patient. It should be fine. You're all good. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say. Yeah. I will leave it there, and I will say again, thank you, all you wonderful little candy crystals, for wasting this time with me. That being said, I'm gonna relax. Stay well, be well, and good night.